This is Dr. Sandeep Salunke. Today I am going to discuss a very important unit, working capital. Every business requires two types of capitals, fixed capital and working capital. Fixed capital is required to purchase and maintain fixed assets. And second type of capital, which is our subject of discussion, working capital. Meaning, a capital which is required for day-to-day operations of the business is called as working capital. For example, for payment of wages, for payment of salary, for payment of tax, interest, payment for suppliers, payment for stationery, whatever capital is required, that is called as working capital. So working capital is treated as lifeblood of business, because without which it is very difficult to run business smoothly. Next, definitions. According to Shubin, he defined working capital as working capital is the amount necessary to cover cost of operating the enterprise. According to Gerstenberg, working capital is the difference between current assets and current liabilities. In other words, working capital is nothing but a capital which is required for day-to-day operations of the business. Next, concepts of working capital. There are two concepts of working capital. Gross working capital concepts. This concept advocates the firm's total investment in current assets only is called as working capital. In mathematical language, gross working capital is equal to total current assets. Next concept is net working capital. According to net working capital concept, the difference between current assets and current liabilities is called as working capital, or the excess of current assets over current liabilities is called as net working capital. In mathematical language, net working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities, and generally this net working capital concept is preferred. Next, components of working capital. According to net working capital concept, working capital is nothing but the difference between current assets and current liabilities. So that is why the component of current assets and the component of current liabilities together constitutes the component of working capital. So component of current assets are cash in hand, cash at bank, bills receivable, debtors, advance given, prepaid expenses, outstanding income. And components of current liabilities are creditors, bills payable, outstanding expenses, short-term borrowings, bank overdraft, etc. Classification or types of working capital. There are 5 types of working capital: gross working capital, net working capital, permanent working capital, variable or temporary working capital, and negative working capital. Gross working capital is nothing but firm's investment in total current assets. Net working capital is nothing but the excess of current assets over current liabilities. Permanent working capital is nothing but it is that part of working capital which remains in the business even though the production is zero. Variable working capital or temporary working capital is a working capital which fluctuates with production. When production increases, temporary working capital increases, and if production decreases, this variable working capital decreases. Negative working capital. This negative working capital is nothing but deficit working capital. If current liabilities are more than current assets, it is called as negative working capital. In graph I have showed temporary working capital and fixed working capital. So this fixed working capital is straight horizontal line, little bit moving upwards. And this variable working capital is showing fluctuations because when production increases, it increases. When production decreases, it decreases. When production increases, it increases. And again, when production decreases, it decreases. Next, factors determining working capital. The first factors or determinants of working capital is size of business. Big business concerns requires more amount of working capital compared to MSMEs, that is micro, small and medium enterprises comparatively requires less amount of working capital. Nature of business. Trading concerns, manufacturing concerns requires more amount of working capital, and public utilities like railways, electricity companies, water supply companies requires less amount of working capital. Next, rapidity of turnover. Rapidity of turnover means the time length required for conversion of raw material into debtors, debtors into cash. If this length or this rapidity is high, then that company requires less amount of working capital. And if there is more time is required in conversion of raw material into finished goods into debtors, and debtors into cash, more amount of working capital is required. Next, large stock of raw materials. If company wants to maintain large stock of raw materials, it requires more amount of working capital. And if company wants to maintain only a small quantity of raw materials, it requires less amount of working capital. Length of manufacturing. Length of manufacturing means the time lag between conversion of raw material into finished goods. If this length is high, or if this length is lengthy one, then more amount of working capital, and only a short period is required for conversion of raw materials into finished goods, less amount of working capital is required. Terms of purchase and sale or credit policy. If a firm purchases raw materials for cash and if sells goods on credit, it requires more amount of working capital, and vice versa. If raw materials are purchased on credit and finished goods are sold for cash, less amount of working capital is required. Seasonal variations. There are some products for which the demand and manufacturing of these products are limited for a specific season. Example, umbrella, ice cream, cold drinks, woolen garments, like that. The demand and manufacturing of these products is generally in that particular season. So in that season, those companies requires more amount of working capital, and in off season, less amount of working capital is required. Expansion and diversification activities. If a company is interested to expand and diversify its business, more working capital is required. And if it is not interested for expansion and diversification, less amount of working capital is sufficient. Phase of business cycle. There are 4 phases of business cycle or trade cycle: boom, recession, recovery, depression. These are the 4 phases of trade cycle or business cycle. In boom period, more amount of working capital is required, and in depression, less amount of working capital is sufficient. Next, dividend policy. If business follows liberal dividend policy, then major portion of profit is distributed as dividend. Company requires more amount of working capital because our retained earnings is decreasing. And if company follows conservative dividend policy, then only less amount of profit is distributed as dividend, and major portion is remains with the firm, and that amount can be used for its working capital requirements. Hence, less amount of working capital is sufficient. Attitude towards risk. If the management of the company is ready to manage its business with very low stock of raw materials and with low amount of capital, if it is ready to take risk, this type of risk, they requires less amount of working capital. And if they want to maintain large stock and they don't want to take any risk, then they need more amount of working capital. Last one is use of manual labor or mechanization. The labor intensive industries requires more amount of working capital because for labor's wages and salaries should be paid monthly or weekly. And those industries which are using more number of machines, technology intensive industries, they need more amount of fixed capital and less amount of working capital. Next, methods of estimation of working capital. There are total 5 methods are there, but for our syllabus only first method is there. So therefore we will discuss only first method. So which are those 5 methods? Estimation of components of working capital method, operating cycle method, percentage of sales method, fourth one is projected balance sheet method, and fifth method is cash forecasting method. So for our syllabus only first method is there, so that's why we will confine our discussion for this first method. Now, approaches of estimating working capital. There are two approaches while estimating working capital: total approach and cash cost approach. According to total approach, while calculating cost of sales, depreciation is included, and while calculating debtors, profit margin is also included. But in case of cash cost approach, while calculating cost of sales, depreciation is excluded, and while calculating debtors, profit margin is not considered. So put it in simple words, if we consider depreciation and profit margin, this is total approach, and if we exclude depreciation and profit margin, that is cash cost approach. Unless it is specifically asked cash cost approach, generally total approach is preferred. Thank you.